The issue actually being, I don't think we can cover all the demand there is in the city with one unload stop anymore, which kinda sorta sucks. Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to yet another episode of Transport Fever 2 in the free mode with me, Spacefish. Look at that ending horizon line right there. So, it's been another 2 weeks since the last recording, but the last time we actually got some nice and fancy new vehicles available on the market, including some planes, including some trucks, and we were sort of in the middle of actually upgrading our truck fleet, and, well, in the same kind of step, also getting rid of some of the older trucks that we do not really need that much anymore to keep things going, so that will be what we are going to be looking at today. I'm pretty sure that we already took care of this part out here, and I'm also thinking, yes indeed, these are also already the new trucks, but we have Darley Dale here, for example, which we are still running with. Is that the new trucks? Is that the old trucks? I'm not actually quite sure. We're going to check through those, and then we will see. That is the wrong building to actually check out. We've got these right here, and okay, the blue trucks are the new ones, basically. So we're done with Darley-Dale. Looking at Badal, we have got very old trucks here still. Holy moly, those are actually pretty darn old. Well, I actually probably have to check here with the frequencies and all. We've got a demand only of 77 fuel. We also kind of want goods in Badal to get that city growing more, which we should probably look at sometime, but I'm thinking, if I remember correctly, that the whole goods supply line is pretty complex in what it needs, because I think we need plastic, which is made out of oil, and we need some other input material too. You can see it down here. So we need steel and we need plastic, which both aren't the easiest things to make, because here we need coal and we need iron, and for the plastic we need oil, and then we need to ship that all over. So it's quite crazy, and it's also quite far away, so maybe something to hold for the future for the time being. We definitely have the connections here to supply it eventually, but that's going to be quite the mammoth task to take on. Then again, we also kind of need that in Broadstairs and St. Peter's, so we'll see. For the time being though, so we've got 77 of a demand right here for fuel. And if we look at fuel Badal, no, that's not the thing that we want. Fuel delivery truck Badal. That is a rate of 71, so we're kind of capped below what the demand is with these 4 super old trucks, which, by the way, probably also aren't really the most efficient in terms of what we get for the emissions spent, so we certainly want to look back at that. I think we're going to stick with 3. We could probably only do 2 and be like way better, but I kind of want to overfill the capacity, so we've got a bit of a buffer for the future here. Looking at this, instead of 5 capacity, we would be getting 14. Emission-wise, we would save 2 emission per truck, so not the craziest amount, but we'd also save 1 truck. I think we can honestly save 2. Seriously. I mean, this truck is like 150% faster. It can carry nearly 3 times the amount. Like, honestly, yeah, we're gonna replace 2, which we can do because we don't even have $500,000 right now, which is kind of insane. There we go, that's fixed. We will replace 2, and we will go and sell the other 2. Boom. And they were also in very bad condition, which doesn't really help for emission status. So that is another 2 trucks off the road right there. We are at a rate now of 99, which is way more than we had before. And at the same time, we've probably saved more than like 50% of the emissions that these trucks, well, we definitely saved more than 50% of the emissions that these trucks actually caused in this city. So that being very nice, I think, and we're kind of a bit future-proofed here too, got a bit of the lag off the map through using less trucks. Now this here, this is kind of the huge, ginormous truck train, and well, that one too, that we really have to take care of, because, well, Spacecity is actually kind of being flooded with these at the moment, and I would really like to lower that, especially since I cannot imagine, you can see right here, minus 40%, that's really not the best thing for us. Also, supply. Are we below the rates needed, or do these just not produce enough? We've got 300 right here. maybe we don't have enough capacity in these lines anymore, which would be insane. But then again, Space City, we just got the message, I think last episode, that this is our first city above 500 residents. It's in fact already at 750, which is kind of crazy. This city is becoming so massive. Like, all these outskirts right here, it's currently still connected, but I'm feeling that this city will grow to like this size or something, and we'll probably need more public transport eventually. And well, once we get a bigger airport, we're probably going to have to place that further outside the city too, because, well, we don't have space for a big one anywhere here, I don't think. So that is going to be insane. But looking back at this, what is this line here called? Planks Tools Space City, Tools Space City, 293 of a rate. But we only have a supply of 169 out of 247, which is kind of insane. We do not have more here, and the shipment rate is only at 204, which is kind of surprising, given that we have the rate and the demand needed for this. And, well, the supply and production needed for it too. I'm not quite sure I understand the reason behind the shipment rate being that low when the demand is, like, obviously exceeding that by a good bunch. But regardless, I think we want to kind of keep the rate at 300 at the very least, so that, well, once the supplied rate does grow, we can supply it. And I mean, this factory is eventually going to go to grow to 400 tools, and we're going to need to push all of those out to Space City eventually, because the demand is going to be ever growing. So we probably want to double down on that. You know, we've got other cities here in the vicinity that would also like tools, but Space City is just so massive that, honestly, I don't really think we can deliver any of these tools to any other city without cutting on what Space City needs. And honestly, I'm still kind of amazed how, like, this city that we only paid attention to like 20 episodes in, and then was called Space City due to your guys' feedback in the comment, is now like the capital city of the whole region, bigger than anything else. But somehow, that was 100% just the name, just saying. Moving on. We've got Tools Space City, we want to take care of that, so let's go and actually check this out. Now, in terms of a quick vehicle comparison, we've got the tarpaulin truck right here that we're currently using, which is 40 kilometers an hour at 7 capacity. This one's 60 kilometers an hour at 12 capacity. That's honestly still quite a crazy increase. It's nearly double. We do need some money, so let's get time playing in the meanwhile while we're thinking about this. We've got 22 vehicles on this route thus far, which is insane. I think we're going to pick like 12. That should keep us at our current capacity, or maybe even a tad bit higher of a capacity. And I think we need to do that again because I want to start from the top. But that should keep us at the current capacity or a tad bit higher of a capacity, which should then in turn mean that I can get rid of a whole 10 trucks, which is quite the relief to the spam on the roads, I hope. And also quite a relief, of course, to the whole emissions incurred here. So let's double check here the rate that we now have. We have got, looking back at this, Tools Space City, 270 of a rate. Okay, so we did lose out a tad bit, which is honestly actually something that we don't want, because, well, our demand is already at 247. I think we want to slightly pre-provision for that, honestly. It's a tad bit too low, in my mind. So we're gonna go and buy another 2. Let's buy another 2. That should be fine. That should keep us future-proofed on this for quite a while. So 2 more trucks, that will get us up to a rate of 316, which is going to be fine for quite a while, and once we need more, hopefully we will get better trucks by then. By the way, 11 million, that's some huge train just delivered something to somewhere. That's a lot of money. Okay, that's a lot more spam off the roads then. Now let's turn our attention to the whole construction materials part. Same deal here with the shipment rate. I don't quite understand it, to be honest. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I actually do understand it. We've got the truck unload stop right here, and this is delivering to up here. And you can see we're not actually covering all the demand there is in the city. The issue actually being, I don't think we can cover all the demand there is in the city with one unload stop anymore, which kind of sort of sucks. Holy wow, that's insane. Okay, so what we will have to do, I think, is we're going to have a second unload stop right there. Now, do we do a second line, or do we just have both of these as endpoints for the same line? Does it work if I just make both of these endpoints for the same line? I'm kind of wondering about that, right? Because you would think that once there's no more demand in this region of the whole unload stop thing, they don't unload there anymore, which would subsequently mean that due to there being demand in the lower part, it would just go there and unload there. I think we're going to try the approach with keeping it as one line and see if it works. If it doesn't, we could always just separate the lines, but I'm really hoping it does, because everything else will be kind of annoying and also very hard to really control, because you never really quite know how much demand the one unload stop covers and how much the other covers. So we're going to try this approach, and we're going to see how it works. Fingers crossed that it's going to work out for us. Now, that should probably be the same issue for the tools delivery line then, so honestly quite good that we looked back at this. You can see our tools delivery being up here, we're covering like this upper part of the city. But these lower part demands are not being covered all too well currently, so we will be placing another unload stop like out here, I think. That should be covering most of everything. And we're going to go to lines and do the same thing. Kind of just cross our fingers that it works the way we want it to, and well, then we'll see. In the meanwhile, if any of you know actually if this works or not, please let me know down below in the comments with as usual. Always very much appreciate that, but that's going to be the way that we're setting that up for now, and hopefully that then means that we can finally fill all these demands fully, which would kind of mean that the city would grow even faster and even more insanely. But at the same time, you know, our shipment rates would go up, the factories would be upgrading, so that would all honestly be quite nice and beautiful. And also, what I'm kind of thinking about right now, right? If this upgrades to this level, is this the max level? Or if this goes to the very end of the bar, does it upgrade again? I hope this is the max level, because otherwise we're going to need materials from somewhere else. Fingers crossed that's where it's stopping. Actually, probably maybe it would be good if it would not be where this is stopping, because I feel like Space City is growing so fast, eventually we may need a second tools factory or something to supply Space City if this keeps going like that. But we'll see, we'll find out. For the time being though, we will also now have to manage the vehicles on this whole thing. We've got a demand of 267 units of construction materials, and looking right here, brick delivery. Okay. How do we even manage to supply 189 if we only have a rate of 172 going? This line is honestly quite undermanned, which is really surprising given the train of trucks right here. But we're going to have to take care of that. Let's see. I'm kind of hoping that we can maybe still get rid of... No, we can't. We honestly probably can't. We could probably not get rid of any of these trucks, to be honest. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're going to, for the time being, replace them all. Still maybe going to slightly lower emissions or something. Now, that's a rate of 384. I think we're just going to keep it at that. Because, I mean, while we could get rid of, like, 2 trucks, Space City is honestly going to grow so massively that within, like, I don't know, 2-3 episodes or something, we would need more trucks again. So, we may as well keep it at that level, I suppose. At least we're going to make more money, and Space City is going to grow more, which is going to cause us to subsequently make even more money. So, you know, it's going the right way regardless. It's just kind of annoying. We've still got 39 people waiting here for a plane despite the recent upgrades, which is insane. So many passengers here waiting too, but the train is going to be there soon. So I think the passenger thing for the train part, at least, is going somewhat nicely, but Jesus Christ, that's pretty insane. Okay. So that's the the trucks modernized up here. So we had Badal, we had Darlydale. We do have Blackburn. There's only 2 trucks here, though. I don't really think that's worth it, even spending money on, unless, you know, we kind of are not able to fill the demand. But it is looking quite alright out here. If we check Blackburn food delivery, we've got a rate of 84. So we're largely over-fulfilling on that part currently. It's all fine. And that should be all of the cities that I'm currently supplying, which I'm not even sure we're even supplying half of the map yet. After, like, what, 40 episodes? I'm not even sure which episode this is, but it's quite insane. It's quite insane, honestly. That said, that is that out of the way. Now, the other thing I kind of said we wanted to take a look at was potentially modernizing our fleet, because these things are old, very, very old, and, well, I think there's been quite a few reiterations in the meanwhile of ships. Now, looking at this here real quick, it should be somewhere at Wood, right? Wood, Sawmill, Space City? No, Wood, East Hamport, this one here, that's our line. I've got a rate of 500, which is honestly also kind of over-fulfilling this, because we only are producing 400. And we've got, like, a random assortment of ships, which is also kind of interesting. Now, let's look at our random assortment of ships first, maybe, before we look at anything else. We have got 2 of these Dinara castles, and, like, another 7 of these thingies, whatever they may be, because we don't even have those available anymore. Okay. Details? Alright, so the top speed of these is higher than the Dinara Castle. They've got 130 capacity while this thing has got 100. So they are technically better, oh no, they are still available. I don't know how I didn't see that, but they are still available. So, I mean, the question here being then, we've got a Zurich, which is only for passengers. This thing has got other things too, but it's worse technically. This thing, 130, no, I don't really think there's anything to modernize too at the moment. There's like, not really. I mean, we could modernize these to these, but the difference honestly isn't really quite enough to justify it in my opinion. Like, the only thing we could potentially do is sell one of these, because we don't need quite as much of a rate, but I'm kind of worried that we would then under-fulfill the rate. I think we're just going to keep things the way they are right here for the time being. I was thinking there was going to be new ships that we could use to supply all this and everything, but nope. Nothing to supply these with. So, that will stay the status for the time being. Our trains are all whizzing back and forth here nicely, and well, we're hopefully going to start fulfilling the brick demand out here in Broadstairs and St. Peter's. Honestly, the issue kind of being that we don't even really need that many bricks because the city is still kind of small. So, in order to make that brick line more profitable, we should maybe look at goods. But, oh god, goods are so crazy to actually get going. Especially with all these train lines here going already, it's going to be quite the mess of actually getting the iron and the coal out there that we would be needing. Well, then again, we could use these two. That'll make the steel. The steel we could get out to here. Where will we get the plastic from? Would maybe be the better question. I don't see anything that makes plastic out here. That's going to be insane, isn't it? There's a plastic factory down here, which uses, oh my god, right, it uses oil. It doesn't use crude oil, it uses oil. So we would need to get that to there, that all the way up to here, and all that connected. It's quite the massive task. But, I mean, looking at all the other things, like, we've got Stapleford, which needs goods too. So, like, there's a lot of cities that actually would like to get goods to consume, which is kind of nice. We also have some more basic things like Evesham out here, which would only want, like, food and, well, machines as well. Machines are also quite complex. Food not being available anywhere in the near vicinity except for, like, up there. God, this is honestly quite crazy. I'm not quite sure where to go next and what to do next, because the options are, of course, as usual, kind of endless, but jeez. We also kind of have a passenger terminal out here that we're not really using yet, so, you know, we could still connect, like, Darlydale, Blackburn, Stapleford, but Stapleford's not really growing because it isn't receiving the things it needs in terms of goods. I think I kind of want to focus on Broadstairs and St. Peter's right now, and then kind of include Badal and maybe Stapleford in the whole goods delivery queue. So, well, let's do it. we're going to do it. We're going to start delivering iron ore and coal to the steel mill out here, and then we're going to kind of just go from there and try and somehow get all the stuff together for the plastic. I mean, we're going to start making profit from this part here already, even if we don't continue delivering it out, so that should be fine for a start, and then we're just going to kind of move on from there. So, I'm going to make this high speed, and we're going to make this thing rather long. I think actually we should probably make it max length, because the trains are going to be max length too. This thing then kind of... Actually, I kind of want to get it out here. Should still be fine in terms of connectableness. You know what I mean. We're going to get it out here. That should also be pretty good for the angle. And then if we go and build a quick street out here, which we would actually want to make a medium country road, and maybe upgrade this if we can, which indeed we can. Not going to upgrade that yet, but we are probably going to upgrade this whole thing, apparently. Hello? Whoa, that was some lag right there. Okay, so, you know, because I think this goods part we're probably just going to deliver by truck, because it's that close. Actually looking quite cool, isn't it? Lovely. Okay, that said, we are going to go and build an actual street right here. So let's get that out of the way. Kind of want to modify the train station a bit first, not going to lie. It looks so small, like... I mean, this little hut right here. Like, come on, we gotta make this big and beautiful and all. So we're gonna at least make it like a medium main building out here, like that. And does a medium side building still fit in? Well, if we get rid of that and rebuild it on the outside, I think it would. You know, we gotta make it look a bit better. So we're gonna make it look like that. Then we're gonna have like some of these small side thingies right there, and like a few of these small side things right there. Gotta make things look good. Come on, right? That's better. Now, the interesting part right here also kind of being the street super high and that's super low and all, but like we can't really terraform that crazily out here. We will probably flatten to here real quick, just to, you know, kind of not have the train station absolutely dug in terrain. And we're going to smoothen more on the outside. I think that makes more sense like that. So, that is slightly fixed. Now let's go to the smoothing tool and actually smooth things out a tad bit, and beautiful. That looks better, does it? So, we're going to go and actually build a medium country road. I suppose we can... Yeah, we're just going to make it medium. Like, it doesn't really matter as long as everything is in range here. So, the question here being, do we want to do it like that? It's fine. It doesn't really look great, but it's fine. It is what it is. We're going to keep it like that. That's in range now. Absolutely beautiful. Now we will need to actually get some materials in from out here. Question being, where and how do I build my train tracks to not have to build a huge tunnel? That costs us a lot of money, so we would probably kind of want to go around the outside, like right there. The question also, though, being is how much would a curve like that go and slow us down? And I can't really simulate the curve if this thing just keeps going straight, to be honest. This also implying us building a bridge. No, I think maybe we're just going to actually build a tunnel. 3.3 million isn't the end of the world, and I'd rather have speed than low costs in this construction phase. Now, on the other hand side, though, we've got the coal mine right here, which would need to kind of pass through on the parallel train track. Then again, we could probably merge them right here. I think we're not going to care too much about the coal line. I'm going to go and make a terminus. I'm going to go and place that right here. Somewhat like that. Going to make it nice and close to the actual mine, so that's actually in range. And then we're going to go and build a bit of a road. Actually, it doesn't matter. Why am I even upgrading these roads? It does not matter, because we're not going to have any trucks delivering there anyways. Now, could we, though, attach this? Thank you. So, that's attached. Beautiful. That should be in range. It very much is. And then we are going to go and build another terminus out here, nicely just attached to the mine if we can. Can we lower this a tad bit? Whoa, that was not the thing I wanted to do. Apparently not really. It snaps to the height because it needs to be attached. So the one thing here that we probably have to be worried about is like the inclines and all. So maybe we'll have to do some terraforming in order to avoid bridges. But other than that, this should be just what we need. So we got to take care of connecting these. Then we got to get some trains underway that hopefully grab a good bunch of coal and iron ore and make us a whole bunch of money by delivering it to the steel mill. And then we'll get another train going that is gonna go and deliver the steel out to the goods factory right here. Maybe we're also gonna do that by truck. We're gonna go and see about that. But for the time being, I'm going to have to end the episode off right here. So we're going to continue on that in the next episode. And then once that whole part is set up and we've got the steel being delivered, we're probably going to actually focus on getting some plastic produced too. So very much looking forward to that, but for today, this has been it. So as usual, if you enjoyed the episode, which I very much hope you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. That does always help out a ton with the video's performance. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all said and done, as usual, everybody, thanks so much for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.